Hello, I think I'm live. I'm a few minutes early, maybe. But for some people to roll on in here. Whew. Hey, Fancy Tail Aquatics. First one in. How you doing, Fancy Tail Aquatics? Oh, hey, there's Viola. How you doing? How's everyone doing? Oh. Selling fish, living the dream. Heck yeah. Selling fish and living the dream. Oh boy. It's been a crazy week. That's for sure. I was out of town for work. Hey, Valley Fish. How you doing this fine day? My wife and kids are out of state for travel ball, my son's travel ball. She just called me this afternoon saying she got rear-ended. So, car's fine, they're fine. But it's always nice. They're in Kentucky and got rear-ended. 1.2, yeah. It just keeps going up faster and faster and faster. Pretty crazy. Oh yeah, you're in Louisville? I've been working in Jeffersonville and Clarksville, Sellersburg. That's where I've been working the last 2 weeks. And I'm getting ready to go back there tomorrow night for work. What do I do for work? I help manage vegetation and gas pipeline right-of-ways. So most of what I'm doing is herbicide. I am a licensed Category 6 pesticide applicator license. Whatever you want to call it, I'm a foreman. And me and my guy, we go through and mix chemicals and control the weeds and brush and the right-of-ways. No, I've never. I think I've drove past that Pet's Palace, but no, I'm just there for work, strictly work. I mean, I go to work, go to the hotel, get up, go to work all day, go find a Subway or somewhere to eat, and go back to the hotel room. I'm not out. I'm working like 12-hour days. All I'm doing is working, sleeping. Well, I guess it's not dangerous in the sense that the chemicals are harmful. It's dangerous in that I have to go to some really crazy remote places, and like I drive around a Kubota UTV with a spray tank on it, and I've rolled that. I mean, the chemicals aren't dangerous. They're herbicides. So unless you're using the process of photosynthesis to make your food, then it's completely harmless. It's harmless to animals. And oh yeah, I see coyotes all the time. I've seen a bobcat in the wild before. It's pretty interesting. I mean, I see all kinds of stuff, and vultures, and of course you see possums and raccoons, but you see that kind of stuff all the time anyway. But I'll go out in places where people haven't been in years, and I blaze a trail. There's Brandy, the woman who got rear-ended. My wife is in the hotel room watching my stream. Oh, how do I keep so many tanks if you are gone? Oh, yeah. You know how, babe. You know how. Well, Brandy takes care of everything. She feeds and fertilizes and does everything throughout the week. Keeps an eye on things, and I come home and do the water changes. And oh yeah, Viola, that one green shrimp is the one that's saddled. That's amazingly green. I'm really, really happy with those. Oh, you're still at the other hotel? Okay. That Fancy Tail Aquatic says he's in Louisville. So, there you go. It's a small world after all. If y'all seen the video, I've got tons of guppy fry going on. I've got loads and loads of panda fry. Those blue are Japan blue guppies. That tank's gonna be completely full in a matter of no time. So those guys must be pretty prolific, huh, valley fish? They must be pretty crazy. There's so many of them in there. I'm getting ready to trim up this 75 right here. As you guys can see, it's a grown up wild mess. I'm getting ready to give that a good trim. And then get some more plants going in the pond. I'm going to put all the trimmings in the pond. Tank busters. Yeah, valley fish. As far as I know, they breed true. So far, they look like they do. The ones I have, it's a newer colony. I got them off Valley Fish. Oh yeah, you mean the one outside, Viola? Yeah, I need to do a video on that. The problem is, I have neglected it. Oh, Mark's don't. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure they do. The problem with my outside pond is I have neglected it. It hasn't even had in the middle of the winter, one of the pump connectors the filter got clogged up. Yeah. Well, it doesn't really look bad. The water's kind of low in it, and the filter hasn't even been running since the middle of the winter. I go out there and there's like 6 inches of water, and it's 15 degrees out, and there's water spraying everywhere. One of the connectors to the filter got clogged and blew the connector off. And I've been meaning to do it for the last month and a half, but then I've been so busy with all the fish tanks. All the fish in there are still alive. That's where I've been throwing all my duckweed I get. Take it out of the tanks and the goldfish eat it up. The water lilies are starting to bloom. I mean, looks alright. I started off with they're goldfish. They're Sarasa comets and Sarasa hibuna, which Sarasa just means they're like orange and white, red and white looking. And I used to be, before I got all these fish tanks going, the pond got all my dedication and effort. It was really, really nice looking. But now it's kind of got neglected. I mean, the fish are still out there doing good. They're still breeding. Well, I know there's guppies out there for the summer. 'Cause every time I scoop up duckweed, I'm sure I always get a few. I see a couple little guppies in there. I just throw them in the pond. They can live out their lives in the summer. I think Valley Fish, you got both. You got like that 1,500 gallon like fertilizer tank or something, didn't you? Yeah, 20 talls. Fancy Tail Aquatics. I have 420 talls and 11 20 longs. And 840 breeders, 275s, and 110 gallon stock tank. What I have going right now. I find it depends on some strains they do fine in a 20 gallon. But like the bigger the tank, I find the better fry survival rate. But and if you're catching out the females and having them drop separate and all, I'm just colony breeding mine, especially now that I'm gone all the time. I just put a whole bunch of plants in my tanks and let them colony breed. It is not willow, it is Hygrophila coriambosa, which that is what willow is, I believe, and giant hygro. There's lots and lots of different varieties. When I bought it as just Hygrophila coriambosa. It didn't have a variety. It's somewhere in the middle of the real thin leafed ones and the giant hygro. I mean, it's thinner leaves. A yard tank? Like a fish tank in the yard? Not a stock tank, but a tank. I have a tank in the yard too. Hey, down the wormhole, how you doing? Glad to see you here. Steve K. Fish Hooks Aqua Team Racing. Thank you for coming in. Glad to see you all in here. Now, one year, I'm thinking it was probably 3 or 4 years ago, I had a colony going for like 7 or 8 years, and there's in late April, out in my goldfish pond, I put like 2 males and 4 females in April, and by the end of the summer, these were just Petco guppies. I mean, there's nothing special about them. But there's a colony I kept going for 7 years, 7 or 8 years. In one of them years, I put a handful out in the pond, and then by the time it started getting cold out, I scooped out over 100 of them. And that was probably with goldfish eating a lot of them, because them goldfish, they go crazy eating the guppies. The big ones will even try to eat the full-size ones, the adults. Them goldfish are ravenous. Oh yeah, yeah. You got one of them like pond planting baskets? I thought about trying to put my females in those when they're getting real pregnant, but I haven't yet. I think LR Brett's has some. Yeah, I have a bunch of those from my pond. The pond plant baskets, you get them at Lowe's for like $6. Oh, they got the big ones, small ones. I guess if I really wanted to up my guppy production, she ain't happy about it. I get like 4 baskets going, put the super pregnant females in there. What's up, AC Aquatics? Glad to see you stop by. I'm just wondering what's it gonna be like now that after Cory gave me that plug in that contest. I've gone from 400 subscribers to 1,200 in less than a week. It's taken me over a year to get to this point. I was hoping to get to 700, 750 by the end of the year. I thought 1,000 would be possible by the end of the year, but I didn't know. Nope. Meow meow, the kitty cat makes another appearance. I have perfect water. I just use tap water. I don't amend anything for my guppies or my shrimp. I have perfect guppy hard water. That's part of the reason I get so many. Why I do so good with them. Oh, you get free IBC totes. Nice. Nice. I'd want to do something outside, but the winters here get pretty brutal, and I know I could keep them heated, but I don't know if all the costs would be worth it. Oh yeah, you got a greenhouse. That's something else. That'll have to be my next step, I think, is building an outbuilding. I've been browsing them. Like 20 by 12 outbuildings. I've been looking at those kind of things. I got plenty big enough backyard to put a good sized building in. But that'll be a while. I have to start figuring out how to start selling reliably before I go doing all that. Yeah, greenhouse. The greenhouse would be nice. I've thought about just like putting stock tanks out on the deck and building like an insulated containers for them. And so then a couple 300-watt heaters and a 110-gallon stock tank would probably keep them warm. Have like plexiglass covers on them. Build them up. Wood and insulation and all that. So that they're done upright. Build them like a wall. Insulation in the middle and an insulated floor. My winters, whew, anywhere from, sometimes they're mild, but normally we have a few weeks where it gets cold. It can get, this winter we had a week where it was like -10 or colder every day in the morning. There's a couple days it's getting close to -20. So that's pretty bad. That's a lot of cold to deal with. A lot of cold. Yeah. Yeah, my in-ground pond worked. I kept guppies out there till October. The one year I did it. Usually it's here for the keep guppies outside. It's usually the very tail end of April to the very beginning of October. Now some months you can go all the way to the end of October. It just depends on the weather. I mean, sometimes you get 30s and 40s in October, and they can be in the 80s in October. Just have to watch the weather. The only months that are for sure is it's going to be cold in January and it's going to be hot in July. That's the only sure thing about the weather here in the middle of Indiana. I can pretty much guarantee it'll be cold in January, and I can guarantee it's going to be hot in July. Other than that, you gotta watch the weather. June's usually reliably warm. So is August. Might have a few freak days where we're only getting the 60s or something, but in June and August. Excuse me. Got a kitty cat. Won't leave me alone. Meow meow. My favorite tank is my 75-gallon Rainbow Tiger Inler tank with the thousands of fire red shrimp. That's my favorite tank. Well, them 40s are starting to grow on me. I'm starting to really dig the Sakura Red tank. Sakura Red Guppy tank. It's got fire reds in it too going. I did it. The one I did the planning tutorial on how to do the moss carpet. I'm liking that tank a lot. I'm liking the tank with the steel nebulas. That 40-gallon I'm liking a lot as well. What's up, Jesse Aaron? How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by. What's going on with you? Everyday fish keeper. Hey, what's going on? How you guys doing? Oh yeah, Walmart swimming pool. Nice. Oh man, that's bad. I haven't had a chance to look at it, Valley Fish. Is that the dirt tank you're talking about? Valley Fish? I saw the video where you thought you had a planaria. It was like a 40-second video or something, maybe. What's going on with your nebula tank? You having problems with the dirt or something? Haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I saw the notification. So if you're new here to my live stream, there's no topic. I'm not out here giving a speech. We're just hanging out, talking, chit-chatting. You guys chat with me in the chat. That's all we're doing. There's no dead set topic. Oh, just showing off. Yeah, yeah. I've never done a dirty tank. Never done one. Oh, excuse me. Been sitting at home by myself all day, watching TV and Netflix and napping off and on. Had to make sure I was up for sure at 9 o'clock. Oh, no problem down the wormhole. You don't have to apologize, just lurking's fine. Tree fell down in the yard and I'm a little wired. Tree in the yard. Like a big tree? If you're counting on those 500 watt heaters, I would, if you need two to keep the stock tank warm or whatever you're using, I'd get 3. Or if you only need 1, I'd have 2. I'd get an extra one. I'd have an extra one running. Oh yeah, that sucks. Down the wormhole. I know it's part of my job, and I hate this part of the job. I drive these the pipeline right-of-ways, and I manage the weeds and the brush, baby trees growing up wild everywhere. And every time there's a big tree that gets blown over, they make me keep a chainsaw with me. And I gotta cut, so whenever one gets knocked over in the middle of the right-of-way, I gotta cut it off the right-of-way and drag it off into the woods. That sucks. I hate cutting up down trees. Of course, I did tree work too before this job. and I was on Hurricane Irma. So I seen a lot of storm damage and worked on it when I was down there for the hurricane. 100-year-old ficus trees blown over, ripping up half the backyard with it. Pretty wild. What kind of tree was it down the wormhole? Oh, well. Poplar tree about 30 feet. We'll measure tomorrow. Okay. That's a good sized tree. It's not real bad. As long as it didn't hit your house or anything. That's good. Can't stop yawning. No, I haven't seen any of the. I haven't seen orange endlers really. I mean, there's plenty of varieties, but they're all fairly consistent. They're all fairly. Ooh, yeah. 60 foot. Yeah. Poplars get pretty big. Are you talking about the cottonwood ones? Sometimes we call them cottonwood poplars around here. Those trees get huge here. The cottonwoods, they can get well over 100 foot tall here. I'm not sure where you're at, but those can get pretty big. Yeah. You must be up north a little bit. Yep. Are you in Canada? Because our cottonwoods, where I'm working at, down on the Indiana-Kentucky border, they snowed all their cotton out probably about a month ago, and now there's places where I'm working at. Oh yeah, where I'm working at, it's like a carpet of little baby seedling poplars. They're already sprouting, and I have to go through and kill all of them. Because the right-of-ways are just a bare strip of ground. Well, they want it to be grass, so there's nothing blocking the sun. So all that cotton just rains down. All the seeds just rain down, get exposed to the rain and sun, and they just sprout up and start growing like crazy. The cottonwoods and the sycamore trees. I've been dealing with carpets of them at work. Had to go through and spray them down in the right of ways. Hello, Aquafunk with Angel Freak. Glad to see so many people in here. It's all being active. I don't think I've got any of those. Mine are pretty much the regular looking ones, I guess you'd call them. An orange line from head to tail along the top of its side and a black spot behind its gills. Now mine get the black spot. Almost all mine had the black behind the gills. But I have some of them have dots, some of them have stripes, some of them have horizontal stripes, some of them have vertical stripes, and some of them have dots, but it's yellow and black, not really orange. Some of them have a lot of black behind the gills, some of them have just a little bit. So I think tonight when I'm done with this live stream, I want to make a video. Yeah, I have some with the blue dorsal. Not really I mean, if I looked hard enough, I'd find some, but I have a significant amount of spear tails in mine. And there are some with the blue dorsals. I mean, they're not real common. But they're in there. And I have quite a few spear tails, and that's always interesting. Let's see, I'm looking at them right now for a fork tail. Yeah, there's one that kind of looks like the top and bottom of the tail stick out, and they're like more yellow. It's kind of a fork tail. Yeah, I see one right now. Of course, I probably have, I don't know, hundreds of them. So it's hard to... I could probably line out several different varieties if I wanted to. But... Oh, a spear is what I'm talking. It has comes to a point. It's just the tail starts here and it goes to a point. A fork tail, by what I'm calling it, is like a goldfish tail where it goes. Yeah, spade tails. Yeah. Most of the spade tails for me as well. Like there's one with a spear tail I'm looking at right now. It's got a long flowing point at the end of its tail, like the tail goes, it's got a tail that goes like that. I'm calling that a spade tail. Or not a spade. I'm calling that a spear tail. Spear, spade, yeah. Yeah, to me a spade tail would just be the regular tail without any of the fancy tail part. Yeah, like a goldfish tail. Valley fish. That's what I consider a fork. Yeah, or the tail goes like that. Wish I had something to draw on. Show you what I mean. Like maybe. Let's see if I can figure this out. Let's see her. Maybe. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's not working. Sometimes I hate this computer. Wow. It's like a $300 netbook with Windows on it. It really shouldn't have Windows on it because it can't handle it. But it does. Alright, hopefully you're still seeing me. Because my computer just froze on me. So I don't know if you're seeing me or not. Get up on here. Yeah. I need an upgrade. There it goes. It froze out. I think back. You'll ever lose me or not? Okay. So my webcam is working, just my screen is froze. Okay. That's good. Let's see here. Good deal. I was trying to pull up graphics program to draw something. Draw the different tails I was talking about, what I'm calling them, and my whole dang computer froze. It's like the streaming software takes up most of the processing power. Yeah, just the stream software takes up like 40 to 50% of the PCU, or CPU, I should say. Yeah. AC Aquatics, I get the blue dorsal fins and in the tails. I also get a little bit of what I'm calling watermelon coloration in the main body when the light hits them just right. Yeah, I've seen they get a little bit of red in them. Red, pink. Is that kind of what you're talking about? I've seen people talking about that. I know he's been working on the red strains for a while now. I have an old strain, I think. I've had mine going for over a year. I think I've had mine, it was a year in March. So if yours are newer than that, then maybe you got some, I don't know. I haven't done any lining of mine out. I just let them go crazy. Put them in a great big 75 gallon and yeah, I know yours are new, but yours are from mine. Oh yeah, yours are about a year. I think he keeps 3 or 4 tanks of them, and then he's got all the other tanks. He's lining them out, like trying to line out a super red tiger antler or something. I don't know. I haven't kept up with what he's been doing lately. So, oh, nice. What size tank are you keeping them in? Mine are about a year and 3 months, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of them. I started off with 8 pairs. About I got the starter call, and I paid $300 to start mine. Of course, they've paid for themselves by now, I think. I've sold quite a few of them. Like 20, $30 a pair or trio, or I don't even remember what I've been selling them for. Yeah, there are quite a bit of deck. I mean, I pay attention to that stuff, but it's been a while since I've looked at all the different tails. This conversation's got me looking at all the different tails. There are some forked ones in here for me. And some spade tails and spear tails. Oh yeah, so you probably got tons and tons in your 55 then, I bet. Yep, I'm gonna do a butcher job on this tank tonight. When I'm done with the live stream, I'm gonna cut the crap out of it. I got hydrophilia growing out the top of it. Then I've got duckweed. I'm gonna get everything trimmed below the water surface, and then get all my duckweed out. Yeah, I was having trouble with tripping a breaker back here in my back room too. So I was running a space heater back there for the shrimp tanks. Cause that new fish room I've built in there, it's just a great big closet, so it doesn't have any vents or anything back there. And it's on outside wall. It's on the outside corner wall of the house, which is good for the flooring and all that weight, but it doesn't get I mean, it gets cold in there when it's frigid. Some of them tanks on that shrimp tank on the floor that doesn't have a heater. I mean, it was getting pretty chilly. Yeah. Tripping breakers. That's another reason why I've been reluctant to get my pond fully going. Because in my pond, the pump I have out there is like a 300 watt, 3,600 gallon an hour pump. And I'm afraid I'll get that pump going. It's going to start throwing the breaker back here. I don't know. Ah, okay, AC Aquatics. Nice. Nice. So you're gonna have a lot of babies. 10 best males. I've been having some females die here and there, which is kind of weird. Well, I guess not too weird. Yeah, you'll have a ton by the end of the summer. Like, I'm getting to the point where some of mine are starting to die of old age. And of course, I mean, in all my tanks with guppies, you never really see dead males unless they're old age. But you see dead females here and there due to pregnancy complications and getting egg bound and all the issues that come with having babies after babies after babies after babies, I suppose. That's why you see way more dead females than males. No, but that'd be something I'd like to get my hands on. Dragon line. I do have my eyes on purple mosaics and a dragon line. That'd be nice. Those would be nice to have, but my next couple steps, I believe, are going to be stock tanks. Hell yeah, stuck to the wave maker. Yeah. I need to get some more stock tanks. I'm not real sure where I'm going to put them. But I need a stock tank for my mixed guppies. So I need to do yeah, the bluegrass are nice. Super tiger shrimp, I'm sticking with Neos. I don't have time right now to mess with the RO water and remineralizing and all that for the Caradinas. So I'm gonna stick with Neos. Yeah, someday. For sure someday. If I ever get to the point where I can quit my job and just sell fish. Oh, yeah, right. But maybe when my kids are grown and I ain't paying thousands of dollars all the time for kid stuff, but I won't have to work. But yeah, then I'd have time to do Caradinas. When I get old and retire. Yeah, the RO water, I just don't have time for it right now. It's already a stretch. My wife has to take care of the stuff. All I'm going to be doing, I go through spells. Like right now, all the work is 2 or 3 hours from my house. So I'm having to live in hotels. But here for long, actually with the area I live in, that particular utility serves my town. So eventually I'll be working back in my area, and I'll be home every night. And every line they have, I don't know how many lines they have, but every line is on like a 16 to 20 month cycle. And so, right now I'm the furthest away from home I'll ever be, working all the way down on the Kentucky border. And I'm 30, 40 miles south of or north, 30 to 40 miles north of Indianapolis. So that's pretty far. Yeah, that would be nice to be home every night. Like, they have a lot of lines over by Purdue, or Lafayette, the Purdue Boilermakers. That college, that's where that college is. There's a lot of lines over that way, and I'll be able to be home. That's about an hour. Then, like, all the little towns around, like, less than an hour. All the little towns to the east, to the west, to the south, or to the north and south. Yeah, Viola, that would be nice. I can tell I've been eating out every night, getting fat. Now, getting fatter. I was already fat. My new job is a lot less physically straining. So that's part of the getting fat, then eating out every night. They don't do very good on that. I was eating junk, eating McDonald's and crap every night, and then I started getting sick. My stomach couldn't handle it because I'm getting old. I'm pushing 40 now, so my stomach can't handle eating that fast food crap every night. So now we look for Subways, and I eat Subway about every night I'm out. So that's been helping my stomach. I've not been sick since I started doing that. Then the guy I work with, if I can talk him into eating somewhere nice every once in a while. Dreams. People say that, but I don't feel young anymore. I'm definitely on the downslide. I definitely ain't as good as I used to be. I'm going to be 38. Yeah, I'll be 38 in September, man. The fast food, I can't eat it anymore. Every once in a while. I'm eating it every day. I get sick. I get to puking and throwing up, and well, the worst part of it is yeah, I won't talk about that, but let's just say when you're working outside and you're 3 miles from the truck, and then the truck is 30 minutes to the next closest bathroom. I'll do it, but I don't like doing number 2. And a lot of times I have no choice, but working out in the woods like I do, ugh. Worst thing you want to deal with is stomach problems. getting the runs out in the woods for a week ain't no fun. 2 or 3 hours from home. It's not like I can just say, I'm gonna go home for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Can't really do that. You just gotta work through it when you're out there on the road. Horrible. So I make sure I get my veggies at Subway every night. I try not to eat lunch. I eat the continental breakfast at hotels every morning, and then I eat Subway at night. Oh goodness. So how old are you, Viola? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, 50. Sorry I missed that. Have a good night, AC Aquatics. I'm going to end this anyway. We're over an hour now. And I'm going to mess with this tank. So I appreciate y'all coming out. Thanks for coming and participating in the chat, and makes it fun. Everyone, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. So hopefully I can do it again next week at the same time. Just depends on what's going on with the kids. One of these weekends coming up, I'm gonna be in Missouri. Well, St. Louis, to be exact. I'll be in St. Louis because my kid's playing a game or a tournament in St. Louis. So I'll be in St. Louis. I'm not sure if it's next weekend or the weekend after that. So I probably won't be, that weekend I won't be doing anything. But maybe 2K, I don't know. If he leaves me up for the whole month, wow. But what it is, there'll be a few new people that come in and participate, and there's a few more views on my videos, but not really. It's mostly the same crowd. I'll pick up a few new people that are commenting and participating, becoming part of the crowd here. But it's still, it's a good bump. It's a good help, obviously. But anyway, you guys, thank y'all for coming out, participating. That's what makes it fun. I hope all you guys have a good rest of the weekend, and talk to y'all later. Bye.